Top 5 observations from yesterday's mandatory minicamp. Let's talk about it. Number 1, TJ Slayton is embracing the role of veteran leader. I've never been in this position before. We've got a lot of young guys on the defense, so I'm trying to communicate and be a great teammate. And honestly, especially in the D tackle department, because you got him and BJ Hill, and then Chris Jenkins, who's young, obviously only been in the league for 1 year. McKinley Jackson, who's also young, only been in the league for 1 year. Then you got Joseph Asai, who's still considered young, if we're being honest here. Obviously Miles Murphy, Shamar Stewart, if he ends up showing up to training camp, or I don't know. He was there. He just left the day early. But yeah, you got a lot of young guys, so it's weird, but yeah, no, he's really coming in and being the true veteran here, which is crazy. Notre Dame, that's why I love our defense, because our defense is so young. If Al Golden can get the situation figured out, like with our defense, we're going to be so good. Notre Dame tied for the NCAA lead in defensive touchdowns last year. Al Golden had the Bengals working on the finer points of interception returns today. He's extremely detailed, said Joseph Asai. He's very hands-on, and I don't know. There's just something about him. He's exciting. I think he's like, I want to say the polar opposite of Lou, but he is very much his own character. He does things his own way, which is not the same as Lou. That's what I'll say. And sometimes, whenever something isn't working, something new is always exciting. 3, the offensive line are constantly working on hand-to-hand combat under new coach Scott Peters. Will it translate to improved pass protection? Honestly, at this point, anything is better than Frank Pollock, and I think Frank Pollock was going with the motto of eat donuts, and hopefully it works out. That's the main goal, said Teddy K. How can we put tools in our players' hands that increase the chance of a one-on-one victory? Yeah, I mean, again, it's better than Frank Pollock, so I haven't seen much of this with Frank Pollock being coach, so very happy to see, something at least. Camp ended with a 54-yard field goal by Money Mack. The goalposts must have looked huge compared to the skinny ones on the practice field. I love them, said Darren Simmons. We've got them since day one. It makes a smaller target to hit and narrow the focus. That is true, actually. It's kind of weird because when you're in high school, the goalposts are absolutely humongous, right? And then you get to the NFL and they're so freaking small, and even college is smaller. And then obviously you do the practice, and then they do really small ones. I mean, that's insanely crazy small. Especially compared to the actual, like, look at that. So, well, my bad. I meant to pause that. So that is what the practice field looks. I mean, that's what, the actual stadium is, right? And then you got this. I mean, bro, that's tiny. That is tiny. But it does help work on that stuff. The players are off for the next 5.5 weeks. What Zach Taylor mentioned is going into break. You can't be the reason why we start training camp slow. We got to hit the ground running. That's on every single player and coach to be able to do that. And again, that's why, just get the situation done with. Sign Trey Hendrickson, sign Shamar Stewart, put all that behind us, and move on with a fresh, clean lens, and we can figure things out. Because if not, it's going to be a mess. It's actually going to be a mess. And little side note here, the Bills actually officially just signed their first-round pick. The Bills just signed Maxwell Harrison to a contract. So, again, this happens. It's not like, Shamar Stewart not being signed is crazy, because every player takes a different amount of time. The problem is the whole toxicity of the situation. But Bills just signed their first-round pick. Let's just get it done with. Get the situation figured out and move on, man. Because we need a W. We need a W right now. And getting this situation figured out would be a humongous W. So who throws the ball? Okay, so it's a coach throwing it. It's not, what's his name? It's not like a quarterback. That's interesting. So they're doing a coach throws it, not a quarterback. I figured they just bring in like Logan to throw that deep, you know? Kind of interesting. Okay, so then we got, obviously, our boy TJ Slayton versus Chris Jenkins, of all people, man. Chris Jenkins is an animal, bro. The mutant. You know he's gonna be crazy when his nickname's the mutant. But 5.5 weeks, man. I'm gonna survive. I'm gonna survive it. I promise. I'm gonna survive it. I hate this time of the year. So Maxwell Harrison, the Bills' first-round pick, just got a 4-year contract for $15.2 million. He was the 30th overall pick. So he is 13 picks after our boy Shamar Stewart. So let that sink in. Peace out, guys.